We're all a little depraved and debaucherous. Here is the king of podcasts.
This is going to be an easy one tonight because I had a TikTok video that I watched earlier when I was going out for my second walk of the day. And then I decided to go ahead and follow what this young lady said on the TikTok video. And I said, well, okay, I got to respond back. And not only did I respond back to her on TikTok, I got to expand on that. So we're going to go even farther with that. So here's what we got. The account is from Amanda McCants. And listen, I am not judging her at all. But it's funny how she decides to go ahead and put this out there and say, well, pretty girls like her should find nice guys. And I'm going to let her go ahead and explain her point. So here, I'm going to play the full 30 seconds.
2024 is the year of the nice guy. I forgot to do my lips, but we're not dating the same guy again. We're not doing it. It's the year of the nice guy. I had the realization, I was like, I'm not gonna date the same guy for the next 10 years. Like, I'm just not doing it. Created such a beautiful life with my little baby. He hates the phone. Year of the nice guy. We deserve it.
That was the part that got me. We deserve it. Listen, she's a beautiful girl, beautiful eyes, beautiful hair. Looks like she does really well for herself. She has a nice apartment, has a cute dog, and she's fed up with bad relationships or just guys that she's dated that just did not work out well. Now, I have not followed anything else on her profile of other videos that she's done, but she has what she's doing right now, and she decides, okay, well, let's do it. And that's fine. I understand that part. There's a lot more she's done on here in terms of a lot of different comments. But I mean, she's followed by quite a few people. 32 million likes and almost 1 million followers. 913,000. So people are listening to her. And when she put that out there, all right, I didn't see, right now so far, what she put out there already has 15,000 likes. So it's not one of those popular videos, but it just got out there, a couple hours ago. Okay, listen, that's fine. But guys, when you're going to hear this here, you need to realize, okay, she might be just getting this just to go and get a rise out of guys like me, and she did it. Good job. Good job. But it still comes down to the fact that nice guys, I'm a recovering nice guy. I don't get caught up in this right now. Things have gotten already so rough and rambunctious because of how we are dating less. And in the last couple of weeks, I've talked about it. It's not been better. Things are getting worse because the dating game, as I talked about last week, should be changed around where you qualify and find out if the woman is willing to go ahead and go through a traditional route of dating to see if they're somebody that would be interested in. You would be interested in. Because it has to be your choice to also say, okay, do you want to be with her or not? Because you just need to. You cannot judge and just take a woman just because she's pretty and just, okay, let's go and do that. Remember, when you see a beautiful girl like her, you're going to say to yourself, all right, why is she going to basically downgrade herself to a nice guy? Because that's basically what she's saying. No more the guy she's dating, which she feels like are at a higher level. Instead, a nice guy is a derogatory term. Now, she might be saying it, to be complimentary or conciliatory. But nice guys, according to her, are a consolation prize. Okay, we're inferior. Fine, if you want to believe that, okay, good. Look, remember, if she did go out with you, the perception that she has of what other people are going to be doing with her, okay, with her large following out there, imagine if she decided to go ahead and go the route and say, oh, you know what? I need to make sure that, if it's a nice guy, he still has to have all these particular attributes for me to go ahead and be seen with him, to go out with him. And he still needs to go and take care of me and take care of and support me. Now, I think she just does content just to do content. And listen, she's good at it. Congratulations to her. I don't diss her. I just think the message that she got out there can get misconstrued if it's taken seriously. All right. Another young lady also was on a podcast, and this is from the 8 at the Table podcast. And a lady comes on and talks about, well, ladies, it's 2024. Do you want a nice guy? And how many nice guys have gotten away from you? So this is what's being said here. This is about 40 seconds. Let's listen in.
I didn't want a really nice guy when I was 24, right? And so I ended things. I went back on the scene. I mean, things worked out. I got married, I had a baby. But relatively speaking, if things didn't work out, and I said to myself, you know what? I do want a nice guy. I do want someone who's stable. I do want someone who's loving. Now that I'm older, I'm more reflective. I know you don't believe in older, but right now I'm older, I'm more reflective, right? I could say I've now changed my mind and I want to reconsider this. Now, whether or not he wants to give me a second chance, I would say he'd be dumb for doing so. But for me to go back, because I was the one who left, he was a good person. What I wanted has now changed.
Well, what if he wanted change too?
And now he don't want me?
Yeah.
I mean,
It don't be happening.
And that's another thing that you got to figure out. See, the young lady right there that just responded back to her, they're not wrong about that either. But what they just brought up in that podcast is very smart, because what guys want at the time, when they had that beautiful girl they were trying to approach and they were the nice guy and she rejected or friend zoned him, that guy's not going to go and get burned again. See, that's the thing. She thinks she's going to go back to him and think there's a chance that maybe something will happen. No, that's not going to work either. Okay, we wanted you at the time, right? When she was 24 years old, that's when he really wanted her. Now, there are some guys that will absolutely go ahead, and if he gets a chance to go ahead and be with her, then it's like, Forrest Gump and Jenny. But that's not what we're going to do, guys. We're not going to go and do that part. All right? You want a woman when you found her, at the time you find her. You don't need to be waiting 5, 10, 15 years for her. And then she comes back to you as a consolation prize. What will she have done at the time she was with? Listen, I'm not going to judge what any woman does, that I was going after that when I was being friend zoned. All right. It's funny. I've seen a couple of girls that I've talked about that friend zoned the hell out of me. And I've seen what's done to them as such. But see, here's the thing. And guys, some of you nice guys will agree with me on this. Yeah. A lot of times we see the woman that we want to go and be with and we get friend zoned. But then what happens is we'll see them down the line. We're not interested anymore. Not after that. Let me tell you this. Okay. So there's a young lady that I followed, that I knew and I met. Personal story again. Here we go. I met her at Denny's for the first time. And we were talking online. I want to say it wasn't Yahoo Personals, and it was, man, I don't know which side it would have been. It was going back, by the way. I'm going to say, if it was anything, it was Plenty of Fish. That's where it was. Plenty of Fish is where I met her. And then when I talked to her, I was like, okay, well, when I first met her, she was cute. Listen, everything I saw from her, I enjoyed, and I felt good about her when I met her. Kind of a tomboyish, jeans, cute shirt, and just had her hair all dialed up a little bit. And we just met up. It was like late night. So we grabbed some food, we grabbed some dinner. I was getting off of work. And I said, let's go meet up. And it was a nice chat for like an hour, which was fine. Good. And then we tried to go and make time to go meet up again. And there was one night where I had to go ahead and stay down where I was in Fort Lauderdale next to work. And instead of me driving up and back to work, because I had to go and get up at 8 a.m. to do a recording. Okay. And who was it we were doing? Oh, that's right. So there's a guy that I used to produce a podcast with named Shoe Money, Jeremy Shoemaker. And the website is shoemoney.com. Cool guy, great podcast. The show is out there in podcast land if you want to listen to it. And I remember I had to get up at 8 a.m. Now, was it 8 a.m. to do an interview with Seth Godin? And that was after he wrote the book Meatball Sunday. Or it was a domain auction I had to do at 8 a.m. in Paris, France. It was the domain auction. Yes. A domain name auction. And this would have been what? The 2004? Yeah, it's like 20 years ago. Now, So this girl, I will not give names, I decided to meet with her again. I remember, and this is how far back this goes. This was at a Bennigan's in Fort Lauderdale. And I picked that place because it was not far from a hotel I was staying at, because I was going to stay the night. Because I didn't want to go make the drive up and back. Like, to get up early that morning for where I was living, I would have had to get up about 5 o'clock in the morning to get there at like 7 o'clock. Because I had to get there early and make sure to go and set up and do an audio check and all that. I couldn't get there later. So that didn't work. And I decided, okay, let me go ahead, and I decided to meet with her. And like I said, I had the whole night. So we chat and we're just kind of hanging out. And then I casually asked, and I was trying to be as sincere as possible, if she wanted to go and come hang out, go catch a movie, or someone could just hang out with me while I was staying at the hotel. I mean, it was an extended stay, had a couch, kitchen, like it was just to hang out. Seriously, it was just to hang out. Like, I don't just jump in to go ahead and have sex with any girl. I really wasn't doing that. I really was interested in her. And for whatever reason, she got upset. She just, no. And you know what? The nice guy in me got upset because I took the time. I was driving down to Fort Lauderdale to go see her because she's down in Fort Lauderdale. Oh, she was. And I met up with her. And then, for whatever reason, I got upset. I was like, so I always come down here and I feel like we have to go out somewhere and I have to pay to have I have to pay for you to be company for me. When I told her that, she got pissed, walked out of the restaurant. Okay. I pissed her off. Yeah, I got upset too. I was mad first. I decided to take it out. So I hit the self-destruct button, which some of us nice guys do because that's just who we are. When we're frustrated and venting and angry, we do these things. So I did to her. We still talked sometime after that. Months later, we talked again, and she was the one that reached out to me. But she just wanted to be friends because we liked the conversations. Like, we got along good as like friends but it wasn't friends in the way that, like, okay, I could just ask, hey, let's go hang out, let's go to a festival, let's go to a movie. She never wanted to do anything like that. It was always this platonic and also at distance with me for whatever reason. And I don't think she had any boyfriend at that time. I just don't think there was anybody. And then she did. But she still wanted to talk to me in the meantime. And she reached out to me on Facebook, I think it was. Or maybe it was somewhere. Oh, it was Facebook. That's right. And we did. For a while we talked. And you know what? I have all the messages. I forgot about that. And then I remember something about where I reached out to her. And we were still talking somewhere. And back in 2011, I reached out to her because she was reaching out to me. And I said, what's up? And she says, no, nothing. LOL, nothing. Just felt like messing with you. What are you up to? And just this small talk. And she asks, hey, are you mad at me? And this is back December of 2011. And I say, no, I don't want any people asking me any questions. And then she asks, I just asked how you were. Sorry for asking. I said, no, I know. Just send a message. For the record, I'm fine. And then I guess she was following me on Facebook and she makes messages about, okay, I find it interesting that you post all kinds of stuff on your wall, from personal love life stuff to random stuff, but I say hello and ask how you're doing and it gets deleted because of editorial decisions. So that was what was going on. It was something that I put up on Facebook and she just kind of noticed. I told her sorry. I said, whoa, feeling confirmed. She said that. And then I asked her, because she had a boyfriend at the time, and I asked her, Jen Hunt, do you really want to keep the conversation with you and me in the open when your boyfriend can read it? Yes, I just gave part of her name. Wow, I just did that. Are you really still upset about that? It wasn't that big of a deal, but yes, I like to have editorial control. And there was something on Facebook that happened there that I think something was going on where I don't know what it was. But we kept talking and then she followed back up. And it was a long time. Like, I mean, hell, that was going on the conversation between December and January 2011 to 2012. And then she reaches out 8 months later and asks how life is meeting with us. And she says, we chatted on a post with Jack not too long ago, but still you've been MIA for sure. I'm married to the station. No wonder you're single, she says. So she's making jokes with me. She's being, sarcastic. Then she tells me about how she started school. She was working at a health spa. I think she was doing massages is what it was. And then she broke up with the guy she was with for good. And she broke up with him back in February or March. She says he's talking to someone else. And then she was looking to go and visit him. And, I was being nice. I said, you're still beautiful, hon. Don't sell yourself short. And then she tells me about she was in a car accident. And then I told her, have a safe trip. Tell me when you get back. Right. And then she tells me about meeting this guy in Jacksonville, but this is also going on what are we talking about? 8 months later after that? She says, I was relaxing at the beach, enjoyed the sun, staying waves, read a bit. Now I'm grabbing some lunch. And then I told her that, she had met another guy and she moved all the way across the country to Oklahoma to go be with him. And then that didn't work out. And I just saw, we were following stuff online of us, each other. And I just thought, you know what? Things were working out for the new guy. And I just made a comment about it. That was it. Oh, and then she says that, things are still going. Things are chill between us. Tough being long distance. Oh, the guy was up in North Florida and she was down here at the time. And I did tell her I was trying to meet up with somebody that was in Pembroke Pines. And I remember there was a girl I did meet up with only once. And she moved away after that. Wasn't anything more. It was just something was going on. Then she says the guy up north was an ass. And then she talks about moving. And then she changed her mind about moving. And for some reason, we could kind of be a little bit, deprecating to each other. A little bit, we could diss each other. And that was just something that we were able to go and have. I was little barbs with each other. It wasn't a big thing on that. And then she tells me, talking about she'll be in Orlando because she was out of town. She was not in South Florida anymore. She was up north. And then she says, does someone have a special lady friend? Bring the little need a little lady's permission, bring her along. Thought, that I should go visit up here at Orlando. I don't even know why she was asking that, but she did. This is the conversation I had when it comes to friend zone. Sucks. Horrible. A girl that I was interested in. And this is what I'm this is what I'm subjected to. I didn't spend any money, but And I talked to her about basically it was just a lot of work. And it was, whatever it was. And the last I talked to her was 2013. Did not reach out to her since. We haven't talked since. I don't think what was going on, but it was all about work. And I remember I did meet with her at a restaurant. And I remember when we talked, it was kind of like just airing our grievances with each other. Where when I talked to her about, I don't know why we got in that conversation, but she did talk about things about if we ever became sexual. She was asking what was it I liked and what was she interested in. We didn't connect on that. Because she basically made the point that what she liked sexually was not what I like sexually. I'm much more old fashioned. I'm not doing some big hardcore porn here or something. Okay. I don't do that. But, for her, she likes to, she likes rough with her partner. She doesn't, fool around. She has a partner she's with and she stays committed to him, but she has her type and that's it. And that's all she wants. And, when I look at her now, she's not in another relationship, whatever. No big deal. And she's always had this kind of a quirky kind of attitude with herself. And, she was always nice, but like I said, I didn't like the fact that I was being friend zoned for a long time. That did bother me a lot. And what are you going to do about that? But, you know, I liked her as a person. I mean, it was never anything about her that didn't make me feel good about getting to know her. I always felt good about her. And, you know, it was like there was just something else going on. It was just, you know, a different story. And, you know, when I look at her now, 20 years later, or no, actually it was 10 years later, excuse me. Yeah, she's very attractive and she's nice. I mean, just never worked out for me. And actually, what was interesting was we actually had somebody that we knew mutually, which was kind of another connection with us. And I forget why, but it was a cousin-in-law, right? One of my cousins had got married, and I have a nephew that, you know, he's his father, and they knew each other. And I'm not even sure what it was that they came across and how they met each other, but they did. But there was a connection with them. I'm like, all right, that's what happened. But, you know, things were different and it didn't work out for us. And that's fine. You know, it was like, but she still kept talking to me like a friend and wanted to keep, like, it was like kind of keeping it up for a couple of years. And this is while she was still in different relationships. Why she wanted to still talk to me as a friend, like we were a little bit hot and cold with each other. We were a little bit oil and water sometimes. And you know what it was? At that point, it was right towards the end of where I stopped trying relationships. Because honestly, she was one of the last girls I actually even tried to go ahead and just make the effort of a real relationship with, which there never was going to be. But that was my thought process. Like I met her online and I thought, well, maybe there's a chance. No, didn't happen that way. And it was upsetting. But I mean, when I look at what we had talked about, yeah, I guess she always just had a feeling where I was a nice guy to her. And all right, that's what it was. And it was just the way that she did things and just how she handled things. Just like, you know, she would also try to give me advice on like who I was trying to talk to or maybe, you know, meet up with. But she wanted to know how I was doing. And, you know, I wasn't very talkative with her because, like I said, I just didn't understand why she still wanted to talk to me. I'll never get it. Well, that's fine. That's what it is. But like, I'll never understand what it was. And it sucked that when I have situations like that, right? And I have the opportunities, when I go back and think about this, it still irks me today. And that's 10 years ago. We barely even scratched the surface on Twitter and Facebook and all. We were talking on Facebook at the time. But, you know, we weren't even so consumed with social media like there was now. So much different. Like we were before iPhones when this was going on. And I just see how this all worked out. I was like, well, not meant to be. Would I be interested in her now? No, because I'm not interested in anyone right now. Would I still meet with her? Yeah, probably. If she wanted to, like, okay, I'll meet up. But no, I'm not having any expectations whatsoever. None. And there were some girls that I've got friend zone with, and I did play coaches as friends. And that's all it was. Nothing more. It's just the way things worked. It's the way things played out. I wish it didn't go that way, but there was no choice. What can I do? She lives up north. If I wanted to reach out to her on Facebook, I see her. She's got her profile. Not a problem if I wanted to message her. So if I wanted to talk to her, I could. But no, I'm not going to. She's got her life. She seems happy. She's got her family. She's not a bad person. But I shouldn't have gone and pursued her I should have seen the signs and stepped away. But what if there was a chance that someone like her in my situation came back? No. I would not go and pursue, and I would not want to be pursued. Nothing like that at all. Mm-mm. No. Not again. And when I think of other women that I had that could have been that same situation too, if I wanted to go through that again, you know, I had those. And it sucks so bad to go through those. Like, I really hated them. Let's take one more. I'll take one more young lady that I had that I also spent time with. And I met up, and I'll tell you, going to meeting her, it was a long time ago. Oh, my goodness. I met her. Wow. I want to say like it was. Oh, boy. It was in the 90s I met her. Because I think I met her, she was. I was what? 22, 23? And I think she was 18 or 19. I met her online first on Love at AOL. That's how far back it goes. And then it changed after that. It was like, oh, so much different. Now, same thing. Another girl that wanted to go and meet up and talk to me while she was with somebody. Constantly. And part of it was me too. Like, I was an idiot for doing that. You know? So, but we did talk. And maybe I'll go ahead and bring that up too, you know? And what's interesting was that she did try to meet up, and we did meet up to talk and catch up because she had moved into my neighborhood. That's another story in itself that I could go back and talk about. But yeah, for whatever reason, I remember we reached out there, and again, another friend decided to go and hang out and just talk. But I remember when we talked before, what was I on? It was on AOL, and it was somewhere else, I think, too. And I remember just being upset, and just like, I remember I would always vent out at her when she tried to talk to me because it was like, she still wanted to be friends. I'm like, what is it about me being friends? I liked you. I was attracted to you. By the way, 20 years later, no, I'm not interested anymore. Not like I was. I like her. She's a nice person, but no interest in romantic like that ever again. No, not at all. Once you get me to that point, I'm not interested. I'm out. I am out. Done. And there are plenty of other girls in that same respect that I'll have to think about at some point. Like I said, we'll go through the friend zone stuff again, but now, as for the nice guy, that's the reason don't be the nice guy. And if a woman all of a sudden now decides to go ahead and come into your life, back into your life, that's the worst part. Because women, you'll see there's some nice guys, guys, you'll see some nice women that'll come to you and like all of a sudden, what are you talking to me for? Like, you're going to ask yourself that in your mind. Well, follow your intuition. Do you want to go ahead and have a girl that's like pretty and gets together with you? Yeah, go for it. Go right ahead. No skin off my back. But we're at an age now where it sucks, where I feel like every woman that I might even interact with, I feel like there's going to be some money as a component. Sometimes it is. And I get tired of that. I just don't like it. And if it's not, then it's always short term and nothing ever lasts. I don't know. So guys, don't worry about being the nice guy. Don't wait for these women to go and do that. You just find other things to do. Because look, nice guys will not make it over here. Not in the U.S. Not unless you're in the right environment for it. Like maybe if you go out, maybe in the small town or, middle America. I don't know. But not here. Especially not in South Florida for that matter. Let me just say that. I can tell you by experience, I never had that luck. But we have to figure out is, what is it will work best for you that you might feel like there's a chance that maybe a woman that sees a nice guy will actually be honestly, sincerely interested in you. Don't take a chance. Go on, do your thing. You want to be a nice guy? Yeah, be a nice guy to everybody else. But you got to find your time to be a little depraved and debaucherous.